The political neutrality of American justice has been examined today. US Attorney General William Barr has been testifying to the House Judiciary Committee in Congress. Now, that committee is led by the Democrats, who say Mr Barr has politicised the Justice Department. This will give you a flavour of how things have gone. This was the committee chairman on William Barr's relationship with President Trump.
Again and again, you personally have interfered with ongoing criminal investigations to protect the president and his allies from the consequences of their actions. When career investigators and prosecutors resisted these brazen, unprecedented actions, you replaced them with less qualified staff who appear to be singularly beholden to you.
Well, Mr Barr is also accused of supporting the actions of federal agents who responded to Black Lives Matter protests in Oregon. Here's Jerry Nadler on that.
Under your leadership, the department has endangered Americans and violated their constitutional rights by flooding federal law enforcement into the streets of American cities against the wishes of the state and local leaders of those cities to forcefully and unconstitutionally suppress dissent.
Well, this is what Mr Nadler was referring to. These pictures are from Portland in Oregon, where protesters against police brutality clashed with federal agents which the Trump administration had sent in. Here's William Barr on that.
In the wake of George Floyd's death, violent rioters and anarchists have hijacked legitimate protests to wreak senseless havoc and destruction on innocent victims. The current situation in Portland is a telling example.
Well, next we have the accusation that William Barr abused his power to help associates of President Trump, including Michael Flynn and Roger Stone, who've been facing criminal proceedings. Here's Mr Barr on that accusation.
The president has not attempted to interfere in these decisions. On the contrary, he has told me from the start that he expects me to exercise my independent judgment to make whatever call I think is right, and that is precisely what I've done.
Now, it's worth reminding ourselves that William Barr took over at the Justice Department after President Trump fired his predecessor, this man, his first Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. Mr Sessions recused himself from the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, much to Donald Trump's irritation. Well, when the Mueller report was eventually published, 2 days afterwards, William Barr, who was Attorney General by then, provided his own summary to Congress in which he exonerated Mr Trump, which the report itself hadn't done.